Welcome back to Florida Gators Live on the Voice of College Football Network. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Certainly been a wonderful Thanksgiving week for the Florida Gators, and they added another commit to the 2025 class on Friday, flipping four-star edge rusher Jayden Woods from Penn State. So, quite a few flips this week for the Gators. Have already flipped Byron Lewis, a four-star running back from Florida State, Ty Jackson, four-star linebacker from USC this week, on top of three-star receiver Wiz Tunkara from Arizona and three-star offensive lineman Jahari Medlock from Cincinnati. So things looking pretty good for the Gators. And Jayden Woods enters this class as the fourth highest member of it, ranks inside the top 150 nationally. The 247 Sports Composite lists him at 130. 247's own rankings are a little bit higher on him. They have him inside the top 100. They're the highest of any service on Jayden Woods, but a really intriguing edge rusher ad. A guy who, when you watch his film, a lot of speed, wins at the point of attack, a lot of athleticism. He was named a 247 Sports 2025 Freaks list, a multi-sport athlete, stars in wrestling and track and field. So a really impressive addition for the Gators, and a flip from Penn State, who, he was one of the top commits in Penn State's 2025 class. And frankly, a guy that from what I had heard, this was a little bit of a surprising get for the Gators. It kind of sounded like, they had him on campus on Saturday for the win over Ole Miss. Obviously, good atmosphere for a recruiting visit, but everything I had heard sort of sounded like the expectation was that he would stick with his commitment to Penn State. That didn't happen. He's now a member of the Gators class, a class that now ranks inside the top 15. Really a lot of late momentum for a class that was sitting outside the top 40 just a few weeks ago. Things looking pretty good here right now. And, I think you have to be pretty happy with landing a guy like this. Jayden Woods hails from Shawnee, Kansas. So going outside the Florida footprint to land him, a guy with offers from, teams like Alabama as well. So, a really intriguing guy, and an edge rusher is a position of need for the Gators. I think looking ahead into next year, it's a position that we've talked about on this show could be a potential target for a transfer. And that could still be the case. I don't know how much you can expect Jayden Woods to sort of contribute in year one here, but an elite player added to the class, we haven't seen a lot of that so far. I think, small class for the Gators, the average rating's pretty high, but love to see an addition like this here. Stands at 6'3", 240, according to 247 Sports. So pretty good frame, what you like to see from an edge rusher. And like I said, when you watch his film, just a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed. Maybe he needs to develop his moveset quite a bit, but he wins at the jump and is great in his pursuit to the quarterback and making tackles. So, really nice addition, a top 10 edge in the entire class. Just have to feel good about that for the Gators. And, just another flip as they push for quite a few, as we enter this weekend against Florida State. Signing day less than a week away here. The Gators are trying to close out strong and push toward the top 10 in their recruiting class. Obviously landing a 5-star such as Solomon Thomas, who's visiting Florida State commit, visiting Florida State this weekend. If you could flip him or someone like him, maybe you have the potential to push for a top 10 class here. But Woods, was a guy that the Gators have been on, kind of been some smoke the last few weeks that they might, be able to make a push for him, that he was one of these guys committed elsewhere who, when they got the vote of confidence from Billy Napier and have sort of turned it around to close the season, things are looking good on the field, off the field, you're building momentum. He's one of the guys they were really going hard after. And again, I would say of all the flips this week, like other than maybe Ty Jackson, that one was a little bit of a surprise, although, a committed to USC kind of when it looked like Napier was maybe going to get fired. So he changed his mind there, but, Byron Lewis, Wiz Tunkara, Jahari Medlock, these were guys that, the Gators were widely expected to flip here. Guys that had gotten predictions in recent days to flip to the Gators. A little bit different here with Jayden Woods, who, like I said earlier, seemed like was probably more likely than not sticking with Penn State. So the Gators get in and make obviously an aggressive push to flip him at the end from a team that, has recruited well, has a strong track record on defense, especially with edge rushers like Jayden Woods. Was able to flip him from a team that's probably going to find itself in the college football playoff here in a few weeks. So yeah, I think you have to be pretty happy with what you're seeing on the trail from Billy Napier. Could they make things even better by closing out with a Solomon Thomas or a Jamie French or a Dallas Wilson, the two 5-star receivers they're pursuing? Like, yeah, absolutely. But this is a massive addition to the class. Like I said, a top 4 player in the class according to 247's rankings. Also a top 4 player in the class is Ty Jackson, who sits just ahead of Jayden Woods in the composite rankings. Woods is 130, Ty Jackson's 124. But that now gives you 5 players ranked inside the top 150 in your 2025 class, according to 247 Sports. 2 of which rank inside the top 100 in Vernell Brown, the receiver, and Ben Hanks, the cornerback. But yeah, ultimately, I think this was, I think, the first real sign that, like, hey, Florida's maybe being even more aggressive here than we realize. Flipping a guy that not a lot of people saw coming. So you got to feel pretty happy about this. If you're a Gators fan, and I think, a lot of momentum on the recruiting trail as you try to go beat your rival in convincing fashion on Saturday and maybe look to add to it before early signing day on Wednesday. So something that'll certainly be worth watching. We'll see if the Gators can add anyone else to this class in the coming days. We know it's not going to be the biggest class in the world. Sounds like they want to sit maybe around 18, 19, 20 commits. Well, they're at 20 commits right now. Obviously, always can expect there's probably going to be some attrition as we get closer to signing day, but Gators are in a pretty good spot and certainly have a couple guys that could add to close things out that would push this class, more near to the top 10. But we'll just have to see if that happens as the coming weeks or coming days unfold. So it's about all we have here for today, but thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll keep you posted here on Florida Gators Live as the Gators try to close out a pretty strong recruiting class here as Billy Napier enters what will be his 4th season with some momentum on the recruiting trail.